The other thing that you could do. Do you like string token, or do you like using basically counting your way through it? Because you can do it either way, and I think they're both about as easy.
By the
Well, you
way,
know, I'm just saying that only
Will,
gives her all the spaces in one go. So
Okay.
for the colon one, I don't know if it really matters, but spaces is kind of nice.
Yeah. What did you say, Cesar?
by the way, for this amount of characters that we're checking, are we putting these elements into a one single dimensional array or two dimensional array?
I was thinking one-dimensional array for input, like just when you're testing it. First, it's input in a one-dimensional array, then we test it, and if it's good, then we stick it in a slot of a multi-dimensional.
I would
Okay.
agree.
Yeah, because I was trying to do it on a two-dimensional array where the first one of the first element one of the first dimensions was gonna be just the year, and the other dimension was gonna be the name, and then from there you could sort by year or by name. But that got really hard. So
It has a requirement that you have to be able to print the original input.
Yes.
yeah,
Okay. You have to make copies of your array.
You have to make a copy of the input string.
Yeah.
okay.
Well, before you tokenize.
Yeah, so actually tokenize the copies,
Right.
not the original.
Or you can just test the input, like with the same pattern that you would format it and see if it's good, and then if it's good, then you can alter the original by sending it the same way or to a duplicate function does the same thing. You keep the original intact no matter what they type in, as long as it gets like a valid back from your token check. That's what I was thinking.
I've got your file up on the screen.
That might be more comfortable.
Yeah, check it out.
Can you guys see this?
Oh, okay.
Are you guys looking at the file that I sent you?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so go to the function called
Let's get this bigger.
insert car. Insert void insert car. That's where I am. And so you put a list array in there, and then I try using scantropy, str and cpy.
Are you talking about the ones that are commented out, or?
Yeah, yeah. You just gotta scroll down. It says void. Yeah, right there, right here. You see where I highlighted it?
Yeah.
Right there.
Yep.
Okay. So that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to you put uh, like before in the big switch I mean in the big menu function I declared like a two-dimensional array model, a two-dimensional array origin, and then a pointer array, and then the exp is like the allocated size that I was trying to do. Anyways, so I passed those four into that function, right? So like right here, like if you keep going up more, that's I passed those. Um, what do you call them? Those things, yeah. So those declarations, I passed those declarations into the insert function, and now I'm filling up the array. Call list array. Oh, but I don't have a list array.
How many cards are we supposed to input?
Four.
Okay.
Four. Anyway, so I filled that up and actually this is I copied the wrong one. Hang on, let me update you. So I was like,
Okay.
hang on, let me copy you one. I give you the wrong one.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, give me a moment.
Okay. What are the So we're having a two-dimensional array. Ultimately, that's going to be storing this, or at least some kind of array that's storing this. And we have the make, which is 4, right? No, the make can be
Up to 8, the feature implementation,
5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So it could be 4 by 8. way you put it in is the same way you have to get it out, or can you reformat it all so it's always?
I believe it always has to. Like, I think his always shows it in 4-digit format.
Okay.
Yeah. Really?
So unless you show original,
Yeah.
Right. And any other information we need to keep?
Might be hard to tell.
not that. And then just when we do the formatting, we just have to display colon when we do the one format and the other one just to save.
So basically, this is what we're looking at here.
Yeah.
Okay. And user B and enum.
Okay, I updated it. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
All right.
Actually, if it's an enum, it's just an integer that you're storing.
Right.
And you would just use a little switch logic to print out what the vehicle type is.
Call it like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Oh, that would be really easy.
Be a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
Uses what we learned too. Zero Toyota,
You just say like if Mercedes equals 1 or whatever.
just a switch.
Um,
Anybody want anything to drink?
maybe a little bit.
Okay. So actually, our make is a 4 by 1 hints. And the year, we can make that every bit as easy too.
Let's probably.
What's our starting year?
Yeah.
75.
1975?
Yeah, there's actually two ranges. 75 to 99, and then
1975 plus an offset of 0 to
0 to 2, from 2002 to
2002.
Can you move the camera a little, Will?
Sorry,
There you go. Okay.
2002, 1975 is 199, 12, 7, 2,
Okay.
so 27. So 0 to 27.
oh yeah.
So you actually only need to store 0 to 27 in your array. So you've got two integers, and that's all you need to store all that information.
Yep. And then your printing format will determine.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Are you understanding what I'm doing, Cesar?
Yeah.
Okay. So you really only need to store a single integer here for your enum.
Can you move the camera more? There you go. All right.
Up
Perfect.
there's okay.
Perfect.
You have an enum. Your enum stores the Toyota 0, Ford is 1, Honda 2, Mercedes 3.
Okay.
And over here, we know that our starting year is 1975. And then it can be anywhere from 75 to 2002. 2002 minus 1975 is 27 years possible.
Okay.
So you just store the offset from 1975.
Okay. Yeah. That's good.
So now your array is simply 2 bytes.
The only thing,
Okay.
we have 2 digits here, no, that's separate. Now we got to worry about 75 to 02, which doesn't really go to anything.
You just subtract it.
That's very good. So now why are you using the enum again?
Because then we don't have to worry about dealing with the string. All it is integers.
Yeah, then we just have 1, 2, 3, or 4 different car types.
Right. Number one, if you're storing this in a real database, it's going to save a whole lot of space. Plus, keeping in memory, if you had 10,000 of these records, an 8-character array is going to be 8 times as much memory as if you're just storing a single byte.
And you don't have to worry about formatting on the output. You just, every time it's going to be capital, first letter, and then the rest of the name.
Right.
By putting 0 or whatever, that makes it nice.
Yeah, you can guarantee what the formatting of the name is going to look like, and the year is always going to be right too.
You just take their input, and then if it has the elements, if it has if it has 0, 1, 2, and 3 in it, if it's 1, 2, or 3 in it, then it's good data, something like that. You use that logic too.
Right.
Can
Cool.
you do the other one? Can you say can you play the you can search for a 1 or a 0 and it would find those things?
So you're talking about on the input. For the input, you're still going to need to do something to get it all into a standardized, like all lowercase Toyota. And you're going to say if Toyota is, if they're equal,
Yeah.
to whatever your string is, string compare, I guess actually what you'd be using. Toyota and the string.
Is that stremp?
C
CMP.
for compare, string compare.
String comparison.
I always using string. I didn't know there was a comparison.
I'm almost positive there's a string compare.
I don't know. Probably is.
I think we used it in one of our labs actually.
Okay.
So anyway, you can do a string compare Toyota to the input string, whatever you call it, in string. And if it matches Toyota, then you would set it to be the same value as your enum.
All right.
And then you would do the same thing for Ford, for Honda, for Mercedes, breaking out of here as soon as you've got a match. And then if it falls through and it doesn't match anything, then you tell them they're a bug and they need to enter one of the correct cards.
Nice.
And then all you're having to store is that make, model, or that number in there, not the full long name, just a single number here, number 144. And then you do the same sort of thing with the year, is that you're going to get a year, and really we don't care whether it's 1999 or 2002. We're just interested in the last 2 digits of that, whatever they are, and take those and
You have $2 ranges though, 75 to 99 and then 0 to 2.
75 and 99.
Yeah. And then you would add 1900 or 2000 to that value.
Yeah, 19 is 0, 1 or -0 or 1 or 2.
And then subtract that from, or subtract 1975 from that number to get your offset.
Oh yeah, you can just.
If you want to do it that way.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
How about? So pretty much you're checking if it's the names, right? The names are correct, right?
Right.
Okay, so names are correct. That's the first thing.
Well, the very first thing is still going back here and figuring out which one of the two formats that we're looking for based on that first character. And then we're going to tokenize it and break it up into 2 parts.
So which format is? So the first thing to check is the format. What format do you have?
Right. Which one of the 2 formats of the strings do we have? Do we have?
You can use like 2 if statements, like if digit and then if is alpha, and then you determine what format it's based on.
Actually, it'd be one if statement for if is digit, else. It's the other. Yeah. And then once you've stored the 2 different parts into some temporary variables, you can pass those variables into a string that figures out the date and one that figures out the manufacturer. And then once you've got that, each one stores it in the array. And then once it's in the array, then from there it's pretty easy. Now,
I think for alphabetizing too, but that'd be good because you can just have it in alphabetical order, like 0 is Honda, whatever the first one is alphabetical.
Yeah, it has to be Ford actually.
Ford, yeah.
So that one would be 0. Honda would be 1. Mercedes is 2. And Toyota is 3. So you don't even have to actually alphabetize it, you just sort it by your E number.
Nice.
Yeah. And that's the other advantage of using the offset rather than the year, is that, then it just sorts numerically as well. Or stored by 4-digit year instead of by a 2-digit year, and then it'll sort numerically.
Yeah.
If you do 2-digit years, it sucks.
Yeah, that's what we're. So we have got to convert the input of 2-digit year to 4-digit year. Somehow, some logic, like if it's between 75 to 99, add a 19 in front. So maybe like 1 times. You use some formula, some algorithm.
Yeah, well, you could either do it numerically or you could simply store the 2-digit one in the 4-digit string and
You can cut it.
yeah, and actually spit it out.
Return it somehow.
Can you just do like a strcmp for to check if it's a 4-digit number or a 2-digit number?
You can do it. You can do it mathematically. You can just see if it's within a range that the number they inputted, and then rip it out and then tap store it and say, hey, this is going to be this year when we store it.
And then string cat.
Or string cat? Yeah, there you go.
String cat 19 and no, that's not gonna work.
Can you move the camera? Or move, yeah, there you go. All right. You're using string cat.
To attend the 19 or the two zero. Sorry.
String cat won't work.
No?
No, because it stores inside. I was trying to do it all in one fell swoop. Oh, really easy when you can do that. Without having to use a variable in between. If it would return the value instead of storing it in a string, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But it actually modifies it. It's always weird watching these. Like, why is she rolling backwards?
Oh, people?
Yeah.
Nice.
Could be. I don't know. The people around here crack me up. Is he at the gate? Ben?
No.
Is he at the gate?
Yeah, he basically, he's done trucks, I guess.
Okay.
He plugged in the number into GPS, and the GPS doesn't give him the right direction. So I told him just go by fractal to the very end, and then make a U-turn, because it's very close to the end. And then look for the apartment entrance to the right, the very first apartment entrance. I think this is how I define the first one.
Awesome. I was on the freeway, so I just got words really easy from there.
Yeah, the freeway is the easiest one of all.
Yeah.
But if he already lives here, so.
There's a bunch of X's and it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, but I can look faster, then I'm going to understand what you're
Remember what the code is to bring us up? I
Yeah.
myself lately.
The code, I didn't, so I came in, what's the part three?
Will.
I told somebody else and
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was. I have a paper outside. I don't put on.
Anybody?
Oh,
Guys?
Just a minute, Cesar.
Oh, okay.
Remember,
It's on the forum.
on the forum, like, I don't know.
Unless we're trying to stem to it. So these three groups. Dial 388 on the gate there. That's the 388.
that is Chrome so fast. Yeah. The idea of Chrome is that you can just.
The gate's open already.
I'm totally lost here.
Okay.
I didn't get it all. What am I doing there?
Okay.
So first check for the first element is digit. Makes sense. Then tokenize the base. Tokenizing, I never used tokenize before. Tokenizing take the column and just erase the column and put the numbers and the characters together, right?
Well, the tokenize what it does, it tells you the address of the phone.
Right.
Okay? So then you know that the years before that.
Wait. Tokenize address of the column. Okay.
The address of the colon, and then,
What are the spaces?
then you tokenize again with the address plus one, and then it'll remove, and you search for spaces, and it'll remove all the spaces and give you the address of the for the first next character. Second time. The token that you did, the string token is twice.
Yeah. The first time you are looking for the address of the column, right?
You remove the colon and put the null there.
How can you ignore the column, the function itself? Okay, makes sense. Then okay. Then check for spaces and erase all the spaces, right? Using the same synchronized function. Makes sense. Okay. Then what the heck is this? Uh, if we have just one, don't we don't need to mention this. No, no, no. Yeah. If we have just one element, we just have to single dimension, not two dimension. What do we need two dimension for? Two dimensional array for?
4 entries. Four.
Yeah, four entries, but what do we need two dimensional? We have four entries, just one dimension, four entries. Mm-hmm. Oh,
When you want to,
no.
if you want 4 entries, you make the array of pointers. You have four addresses that are start of a string. Start of
Mm-hmm. The, we have one array, right? Array, right? So we have four different, like what?
four entries.
Four entries.
Yeah, you have car one, car two, car three, car four.
All right.
That's what these are. Car one, car two, car three, car four. As the user enters them.
So you are validating for the very first input or for what? What yeah, what's going on here?
Okay. Well, check first thing. Come on. You check to see it's a letter or number, right?
Yeah.
And then you use that to break it into pieces. So you can say that this is the number piece and this is the word piece, right?
How?
You use string tokens to get the address of where the name starts and where the number starts.
Okay.
If you get the address of where the name starts, then you stick that address you put that in here in the first spot, and then you get the number later on with another thing and stick it in the second part. That's why it's like 4 by 2. And then that's
so it's 4 by 2, not 4 by 1.
Yes.
That's why I wrote 4 by 2, 4 by 1. That's why it doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so for the first one, we input the address, so it should be the array of pointers, right? No, just an array.
Array of ends, actually.
Array of ends?
What he talking about doing.
Yeah, and it's gonna store the address, right?
Not array of ends. So if you want to use the address, that's what you do. You store the data in an array of ends, and then you have a pointer array that points to each of those addresses.
Okay, all right. So the make is gonna.
Make is going to be in an array of ends.
All right.
And so is the year.
An array of ints.
Yeah. That's what we're thinking of. The make and the year would be an array of ends. A 4 by 2.
4 by 2.
Or if you want, you could have two separate arrays. You have one for the year and one for the make. So you can do it. You can do two separate 4 by 1, or you can do one 4 by 2.
What about this year 4 by 4?
Um, that was when you store the you're talking about 4 digits like the 1972. That's what he's talking about before. If it's char, if it's in, then it would just be like a 4 by 1, and you can store multi-digits.
I don't know where the best place is to sit, because we need the board.
Oh,
Should wait, right?
that's fine.
Caesar.
Yeah, you do what you have to do, you know. It's fine.
Oh,
Hey, I see you.
Oh, oh, conference.
Telling you, man, this is the future.
yep. Good, bad, or otherwise.
So I wanted to ask you guys about the syntax that we're gonna be using uh, as we fill out the array,
Yeah.
right?
We're talking about the first
The
option
the,
input.
the first input and the first
Okay.
the zeroth option. Um, so I was thinking like how Brandon was saying, declaring an array of ints, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, because there you could input digits. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, you could input digits, right? So Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking to use well, to me, I was thinking to use a single dimensional array, right? And then maybe use the str, str, what was it? Str cat. What's it? The cat. Oh, but you tried cat. Never mind. I was trying to, yeah, I was trying to use that one. That's why.
Let me just clarify. What you're talking about now is when they're inputting.
Yeah,
Okay, so that would actually be a string of char
yeah, string with char.
and char.
So method is the first we got validate because the first situation.
Well, first we have to accept the input.
To enter the name of the make of the car.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a letter or uppercase or even lowercase. Or the first one might be a number, which is a year. That's where the first they got figure out the number.
Well, actually, we got that.
Yeah, it must be.
So the first thing we do is we look at. Let me erase this. This is confusing. So you look at the first character in the input. If the first character in the input is a digit,
yeah, it could be go other way.
Then it's gonna be one of these.
Go out.
If it's yeah,
If it's number, then that's the wrong format.
right.
So no, number is okay.
Number's okay first.
Yeah, no, but if it's not a number or a letter, like some comma
Or space
or
or something
yeah,
like
that's
that.
the
Then it's
wrong
the wrong
format.
format. Right. So you first check to see which one two formats.
Yeah, and that's pretty
and then you tokenize it, and then we were talking about one of the most efficient ways of storing it actually, instead of keeping track of it as a string of Toyota or Mercedes or whatever, we just set up an enum, and in that enum you've got the Toyota, you've got the Ford, Honda, Mercedes, all as possibilities here. If you declare them in alphabetical order to begin with, then it's going to be very easy to sort because they'll already be in numerical order.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And then for the year, we know 1975 is our starting year. So really all you need to do is you just store the offset from 1975. So if it was 2002, which is the highest possible year, the offset's 27. And then when you're printing the output, you simply say 1975 plus the value in the array.
Or you say like zero, print out zero and then raise it to 27 and have it defined somehow that's going to print that means print whatever zero is forward and then 2002.
Very good.
Cool. So, I'm saying that yeah, if zero prints out.
Are you speaking of for the model or for the
Output
for the yeah?
displaying when you press or sorted or whatever.
So what I would probably do is simply do a switch year, and year would actually be a pointer to the array. Switch to year, and then if Toyota, or actually what's our first one? Our first one is Ford.
Worst car.
What's that?
I said that's the worst car.
So Ford, then you would simply see out Ford in the format that you want it to be in, and then you'd keep on doing that for all of those. So that would get you your make, and then and you could even have that be its own standalone function, just one little function that prints out. You give it an integer, and it spits out what the value is, the formatted value, and then same sort of thing for the year. It's simply 1975 plus the year. It shouldn't be year. That should be car.
Yeah.
Manufacturer, something like that. 1975 plus the year, which is actually the year offset. Or you can store the whole year. Doesn't matter.
So
I
you
just like the offset because that's only a single byte, whereas a larger number could take up more space.
here's a question. You will do another switch statement to check for the year.
This is for output
Yeah,
that
for
we
the
were just
output. Okay, okay,
yeah, this is output.
okay, okay,
We kind of jumped around.
okay.
So if you're doing input, I like Brandon's idea where you basically say if Um, if it's greater than 1974, actually, I guess it'd be if it's greater than 74, right?
Yeah, or greater than or equal to 75 value. Yeah.
Okay, greater than or equal to 75. 75. And less than or equal to 99, then it would be 1900 plus year.
Yeah.
If greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 02, or just 2 actually, then it's 2000 plus year. And you could have another one for 1975 and 1999, 2000. Actually, no, you wouldn't need that because it's already in the right format. It's 4-digit year at that point, right?
Well, unless they insert 02, then you have to add 2000.
Right. I'm saying we don't need to do this particular validation if they gave us a 4-digit year. It's only if they give us a 2-digit year.
If year is less than 1,000, you know, I mean,
yeah.
Add 1900.
So actually, this would be the first one. If it's greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 2, add 2000 plus that year. And then next, if it's greater than 75 or less than 99, add 1900. Third would be if greater than or equal to 1975 and less than or equal to 2002, leave it alone. Nothing.
And then return your the multiple returns if you want.
Else,
or put in the value.
Bad value.
Yeah.
Actually, probably the better thing to do would simply be to say if less than 75 or greater than 2002, bad value. That brings it down to just three statements. Yep. So the first thing, check that is 0 to 2.
Yes.
Since we're doing this as a number,
Yes.
it's going to reduce it down to a plain 0, not a 0, 0. If it's less than or equal to 2, add 2000 to that value. Check then for 75 to 99. Then check to see if it's a 4-digit number that's within that range. And finally, anything that's not those numbers is a bad value.
Good. Yeah. Yeah.
Make sense?
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. And that's checking a year.
Are you lost or are you with us?
I don't know.
I think Junwei's a little lost. Where are you lost at?
What? I mean, you can enter any module, right? For a year, yeah.
It's got to be within a certain range.
Oh, yeah, 2 by 4. Oh, you're talking about the digits?
Yeah. They can either enter a 2-digit year or they can enter a 4-digit year. But it has to be in the range of 1975 to 2002.
What? Who did that? It says that on the table.
Or what? Just remember to work on a copy.
Well, what happens if you often grab the first four characters, right? And you use A to I, it won't even work on the characters. It'll just give you anything back.
Returns a null, I think, right?
I'm not sure. I thought you might have mentioned that. I don't remember what he said, but if you have like 2 extra characters, it doesn't count them,
Doesn't make sense to me at all.
I kind of like what you're saying.
No. What's going on here is that what if the user is going to input like 3,705?
The last is gets cut by here.
Why if the person is going to enter more than 4 digits?
It's still going to be bigger than the value that we want. There's a max value of 2002.
Right, but if we're only looking at the first 4 characters and they enter a 5-character number, then the make of it will be wrong. Because then anything else will fall through into the make of the car.
Right. I don't see how
No.
just the syntax, the idea. How can you break everything into two different, like the year and the make? I didn't get that.
I think string token is the way to go.
Yeah, but how do you know the name is proper name? Like
STR
comma
token.
string token.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, let's break that down into a couple of different steps.
So basically, you are looking for a specific word in the what if the user is going to input like a lot of words?
Like
Well, Mercedes Ford and Toyota.
We'll grab the first one out of there.
Why the first one wasn't?
Well, actually, no. If it's anything other than just those specific words, it's going to fail.
Well, depends. String actually.
Wait, how is it gonna fail?
String, use that one. That's the one that I've been using. And that one does it. You find it once.
That's true.
It's good. Anywhere in the word. Because we never had like a big old long word that sounded compounded.
Right.
Inside.
Whereas I was using string compare to say the entire input that you put in matches what I've got.
You have to have it already like formatted first.
Yeah.
String is probably the better one.
But for that, yeah. But the thing is, you still got a problem with them. I don't think you're gonna test for multiple boards. We can set that up like if a board is listed more than once, then we say we input validate. We remove it somehow in the beginning. But it might work. It might not work, but I mean, it might be input validation.
Sorry.
Yeah, good.
Two more arrays to store the name and non-name under the year.
Car make is not an always. He's going to input sport.
What was that?
It's not.
So he's doing string compare case. And then
We should get. That's gonna give you an address.
Well, you're using STR copy, right?
hold on a second, Cesar.
Okay.
With the string token, it gives you the address of where the letters start and where the numbers start. We should save that somehow first. Because now we now know where the numbers start. Where the
Store.
Yeah, but how do you treat it? I mean, using string token, but
What's the syntax of string token?
yeah, I don't remember. I don't really. And now I use string token. I don't really know what you. So you can flag in the
character you're looking for, and then the name of the string.
We'll worry about that in this moment. Well, this is still conceptual. Okay, so we do the string token. I like what you said. Grab the address, the starting and the end, or the two starting addresses, and then we use string lower to lowercase the whole string. Actually, could do that first. Really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Either or.
Two lower at the beginning.
I think I put it first. Lowercase the whole thing. Working on a copy the whole time. String lower, string token, and then you're going to use the str. Actually, wait. I guess.
For example, like the array we declare to store the user's entry instead of char, right?
Yep.
So the number can also be the char.
That's fine. We can always push it with use that one. There's a function that converts copy to I2A on API, and that will make it a number.
Copy input. Determine format.
Okay, so you copy the input, right?
Yeah, copy the input because we have to be able to return what the original input was.
Okay. And then on number 2,
determine the format.
Determine the
Sorry,
format.
the kind of funky pen.
Oh, that's fine.
String lower. More would be to string token.
String token, right?
And then 5 is probably get make. Yeah. 6 get year. and store it to the array. Store that to the array. We probably, instead of making a copy of the input, what if we just store that straight in the array also?
The new array, right?
Yeah, in our array to hold everything.
Later on, it's going to display in the way, if you do insert it, before you display it, it should display the array in a way of how you put in the enter the data, right? Exactly in the same way. So.
Right, that's why this is our data array.
We should have like an original array. Yeah, where all the inputs. Yeah, people were writing that one until they put in the valid one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It will automatically be overwritten.
Determine the format by picking the first.
If it's valid, then we put our counter up, and then it goes to the next row.
Right. That's exactly it. That's what I did with the one of the homework assignments. What was it? That's 0 for Ford. I'm running out of space on rewriting some stuff. One is a Honda. 2 is Mercedes. 3 is a Toyota.
Yeah, that might work, right?
So what we have is we have one array.
Yeah, that's better. A visual.
This is the ready to start. Like with a long length, and we can put all that stuff in.
So this is the input. This is the phenom of the make. And this is the offset here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, can you see that, Cesar?
Okay, so it's an enum, right?
Right. So it's a 3-element array.
Okay.
You've got the actual original input that the person put in.
Input.
You've
Okay.
got, you've got the enum of the make. 0 for Ford, 1 for Honda, 2 for Mercedes, 3 for Toyota.
Okay.
That it's empty at first. Once we figure out what it is, we go ahead and tuck it in that same spot.
Okay.
Same thing for the year of the car. We don't know what that is initially, but once we do, we store it in there.
Okay.
And then you're going to be, if you have your book handy.
Yeah, right here.
Okay, page 140 and 141.
Okay. Page 140 and 141. Okay.
Okay, but page 140 and 141, the table that's on the far right side,
Okay.
that's the one that I just drew here in green. So that's our table that contains all of the data. But you're also going to have an array of pointers that point to these different fields, and that's the one that you're going to sort when you do the sorting.
On page 141, right?
On yeah, page 140 and 141.
Okay. 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 So you're using the array of pointers to look at the year or the input?
Well, this is actually what our sorting does. This
Yeah.
is the sorted array.
Okay.
Raw data. So basically, if so this is our enum.
Okay.
And let's say that we put in a Mercedes in this one, we put in a Toyota in this one, we put in another Toyota, and then we put in a Ford. So in our sorted one, and let's call this 100, 101, 102, 103. So in here, we're going to say, okay, 103 is going to be our first one. Then we've got a 100, and then we've got 101, 102. That's going to be our sorted array.
Okay.
So when we're going through and doing our output, we're going to look here and we're going to say, okay, I want to go to 103, which is here, and I want to look at the enum value that's stored in here. And
Yeah.
because it's a 0, I'm going to output the 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next card that I'm going to do is 100, which is here. It's a 2. 2 is a Mercedes, so I'm going to put out Mercedes. And here's my offset value, which I'll also use to do the outputting.
Mm-hmm.
So this handles the sorting.
It's sorted by the name.
Are you sorting by the address though?
What do you mean sorting by the
Yeah,
address?
because of the 103, 100, 101.
But leaving
Or,
this table alone, because that's what he wants us to do. He wants to
I'm
leave the table
I'm
alone.
not touching this table. This
oh,
table is staying as is.
okay, okay.
All I'm doing is that,
Looking at the contents.
yeah, if I'm sorting by the manufacturer of the car,
Uh huh.
I'm going to run through here and I'm going to fill this in order based on these enum values over here.
Okay, by the enum. So by. Okay.
And then I'm going to store that in this other array here so I know what the correct sorted order is.
Okay.
Now, what
Oh,
does he? Do you have to sort one by bubble and one by?
By
selection sort.
Yeah, right. One selection, one bubble. I'm not sure which the.
Yeah, I don't either. But it doesn't really matter because you can still use the same technique. If you wanted to, you can create 2 arrays and just keep this one sorted, and this one is your manufacturer, and this one is your year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you could do that.
Mm-hmm. Now, in the real world, you could even keep this array, and every time you add a new one, you know where it fits in, and you just kind of insert it in here and push everything else down. I mean, this would be in the real world to keep your data up to speed real time.
Yeah.
He's not expecting us to do that. Yeah.
I have one question. Like, for my thinking, like, the first just create an array to store your input.
Mm-hmm.
And second, we just figure out, you know, validate for form first. The first letter should be a letter or should be a number.
Yep.
Then and we just create another 2 array. The one store the data, right? The one store the name, the other one store the year. And we can use the 2 array to store.
It's all in the same array.
In same array?
Yeah, this is the original input, this is the make, and that's the year.
So it's a 4 by.
It's a 3, yeah, 4 by 3.
Nice.
Well, it has to be like an array of chars because you have to have this is going to be all chars. This is going to be.
Yeah, that's true.
So you might want to make 2, but you can do whatever you want.
You could do it
How
either way.
you make a street 4 by 3? The user can enter many space as they want.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. No, because you know, a char is an int. An int's a char.
The char, so
it can be an array of chars.
Yeah,
We're just ignoring the fact that it's a char and just treating it like it's a number. Doing it the other way around would not work.
No.
And it would work, but it'd be ugly. I'm
So,
sorry.
Will, I have a question. Quick question
Yeah.
about the sorting part. So now that I think that's like option 2. Yeah, I think option 1 or option 2. I remember. Uh, option 1 actually when you're sorting it. So
Mhm.
you're pretty much one of them you're sorting the
Bubbles.
the yeah, the bubble sort, right? You're sorting the 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 make alphabetically, or what do you
Well,
think?
as long as you create your enum in
Yeah.
alphabetical order,
Oh,
then the
okay.
value is automatically in the right order.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
I mean, You could, if you wanted to, do it alphabetically and store this whole thing as strings and things. I'm sure that's the way he's expecting it to be.
Yeah.
Why?
I know why.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
If you did that, if you said it in one array, why you use the str? You don't use str, right? If it's in one array.
An array of chars, you mean, or what?
Yeah, why use str token? Because you want to copy it to another one there, right?
Yeah, well, we stored the input into. We stored a copy of the input already. We tucked it in here. Now we're going to validate and break it apart into its different parts. The original.
Because when you break one, you create another two array or just nothing strange.
Just a regular ordinary variable. Just a variable, really.
Oh, well, yeah, just gonna use it. You just put it in a variable.
Yeah, it's just going to go in the variable, and then once you've figured out what the value is, you store that value in your array.
So you just create one array, but this like this input is a string.
Mm-hmm.
How if it's 4 by 3, it's enough.
Yeah, because he's limiting us to only 4 inputs.
4 by 3 is char, right?
If it's a chart, then you have to have a lot of inputs. Each character is a
Each character is a
You need
char.
like
Well,
that's why
maximum of 4.
Okay, all you have is
It's a maximum of 4.
What you do is you I would do like a 4 by 50.
Yeah, that's right.
And then
Actually, better than that, use the structure.
oh.
Oh yeah.
Well, can't you do like a pointer array? Like the single dimensional pointer array is a variable length. And I think that's what somebody's telling me. Use the pointer, use a single dimensional pointer array, one for each one, and you can have it at any length. And it reallocates memory. You can dynamically allocate that.
We haven't learned the dynamic stuff yet.
But all it is just declare an array of pointers. And I mean a char, star, and then the name, and then you can it keep increasing the size based on using inputs.
That doesn't sound like C to me. Maybe C++.
Yeah, probably.
Because I know that's the thing that will probably be on tomorrow's lecture, because that's when you start getting into malloc and all of those. And
Yeah.
I know it's tricky.
Oh. Okay, I was having somebody help me, and that's what they're saying. Why don't you just make it a char star array? And then it doesn't matter what they put in, it'll be long enough.
Yeah, that doesn't work with good old-fashioned C. That was noisy.
Sorry.
Anybody want anything to drink or eat or?
Very good. That I think it's a good plan. And then how about this? How would you clear that array?
Oh my God! Did the current said you don't need
What did you say?
I said now when it comes to option 3, which is clearing the array, can you just do like the name of the array and then just equal to the null, like just bunch of nulls, right?
Yeah, you would want to just go through here and set the first character of those to null.
Okay.
Actually, it'd probably be better just wipe the whole thing and just use register to keep it in memory as quickly as possible.
Nice.
What I do? I can do a big for loop.
Declare.
Yeah, because you have to enter four times, right? I make a big one and just move one inside the for loop. Check if it's wrong or correct. If it's correct, just jump. Don't do the I can increase by 1, so do onto another. You know.
Espresso if anybody wants that.
I have kind of that in my bag. I want to try to check creamer on unit. I want to see how thick. I got it. $1.
I got this for some recipe at some point and we never drank it.
It's hard to print that.
Right. Is that your number or is the second part your number? And then you're going to have the correct one to the function.
We got change it to anyway because that's the first thing that check. Because that's the only way you can put the index in true.
Right. And that goes back here, and that's why determined format is our very, after we've stored a copy of the original, the first thing we have to do is figure out which way it goes.
Yeah, one good. That's one good.
Take the link. Take the link.
Cesar.
Yes.
You got questions?
I had a suggestion. Okay, when it comes to determining the format, right? remember in homework 5 how we had to input a name like John with a comma,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And then with that comma you had to get rid of the comma and then change the first letter to capitalize and the rest of them, yeah, like
Right.
that, right? And then our job was to get rid of the comma and then to convert the first letter to capital letter and then the rest lowercase, right?
Right.
Okay. I was thinking of using the same idea with the format where you have the colon. If, for example, when you type
Yeah.
in Honda colon, right?
Right. That's absolutely possible, and that was what I was saying. Is which way do we want to do it? Do we want to do it
Yeah.
that way, where you use string location and or string lengths and str, or do you want to do string token
Cause
to
see,
break it up?
let me talk about this one because this is what I was thinking this whole time. That okay, because if you think about this, the Honda colon in 1989 that year, right?
Yep.
That's the only one that's different from the other formats. The other two formats are, they still have a year, and then they have a make. The only difference between the first one is it has the make and then a colon and then the year. So what I was thinking, what if we make the Honda colon 85, right? The first
Hmm.
thing is get rid of the colon, right? And then use an strn copy or a stairs CMP, and then change the make to the like switch the year and the make, switch them. So now the year now is first is displaying first, and then the make is after. You know what I mean? And then
Yep.
all of them will have the same format now.
So you're saying just to standardize the format
Yeah,
initial. So do a search inside the string to see if there's colon.
yeah,
If there is, move everything that's on that side of the colon to the front. Move
yeah,
everything here to leave it on the back.
yeah. And then now everything's the same format. You know what I mean?
That certainly is a valid way of doing it. Yeah.
But
Okay, move
yeah,
to front.
that's what I was thinking.
STR copy side on work. STR cat. Oh, STR cat. No,
Yeah.
cat is on always add to the. So you put this in a new array,
Yeah.
85, and then you cat make the name. Oh, that's why I put a new array, right?
Yeah, a temporary variable. Or you can use string token and you check the first character of this to see, if this is A and this is B, or I and J, whatever you want to call it. But if A, if we check that it's numerical, A is going to be holding our year and B is going to be holding our make. If it's the other way around, then this A is going to be our make and B is going to be our year. It doesn't matter. They both work.
Okay.
Your way is perfectly valid. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
if that's the way that makes more sense and it's more comfortable to you, then do it.
yeah. No, it was just an idea for you guys to talk about. Yeah.
Probably shouldn't.
True. True. Oh man. Okay. Well,
So
this
there's
is pretty
dozens
valid.
of ways this thing could be written.
Yeah.
Probably there's as many ways as there are people in the class. So
But I do like your way, which is putting them all in array enums, using the enums to sort it.
mhm.
That's a really efficient way to do to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you do this, and like that
Hmm.
Like what?
like you do a bunch of ors, you have like a statement, and then or another statement or another statement.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And one thing to keep in mind is that and takes precedence over or, so you can join two things together with an and or, two more things with an and these will be evaluated and these will be evaluated before the or.
Mm-hmm.
However, since it's easier for humans to mess that up, it's best to put it in parentheses.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. Parentheses.
Yeah. If there's any chance of confusion, put it in parentheses.
Nice. Awesome.
Not so much when you're writing it, but when you're debugging it later.
All right. Well, that's good. Yeah.
So somebody have the requirements. Let's go through it and make sure that we've got everything covered.
Requirements.
Oh yeah.
We don't want any gotchas after we leave.
The entry must be included in one of two formats. The make of the car followed by column, any number of spaces, and then the year.
Okay, we'll figure out string token before we leave too.
Okay. The year, any number of spaces, and the make. Note, there can be on any number of spaces between the year and the make. The column will have to appear right after the car make with no space. There has to be at least one space between the make and the year, and also between the column and the year. Mm-hmm.
Right on the counter there.
So the year can be either.
These are really ridiculously small drawers, so
The year can be either a 4 or 2 digit year.
okay.
The year must fall between 1975 and 2022. The make of the car must be validated against the following options, which is Toyota, Honda, Mercedes, and Ford.
Okay.
The make can be in make case. Probably.
Lower, and then uppercase the first digit.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh, about that. I had a suggestion about that. Same thing. Remember, that's why I want to give you my suggestion of how we did it in homework 5. How
Yeah,
we
no.
whatever we input, like like the D's capitalized or some are lowercase or uppercase. When you convert, when we in homework 5 we got rid of the comma, and then no matter what the type is, you convert to lowercase the rest of the letters, and the first one to uppercase. That's what
Yep.
I was trying to do that here also, because you
That's
see,
what step 3 is. String lower
yeah, string lower, string upper, all those.
forces the whole thing to lowercase or uppercase, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
And when you're doing your string compare, you'll just be checking that it matches the lowercase version of it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's all. Just want to say that.
You two are both looking like you're.
I think the one from one, the way I did is take out the comma. I just use for loop circular array. Yeah, so that's why I cast between. I just found out the comma, like the number in the ASCC, ASCI. So that cast like unit. That's why it's not equal to the comma. I see out. It means and it means if it's comma, I don't see out. That's how I get rid of the comma.
So you didn't actually change your string. You
No,
just.
I didn't. I didn't follow click. I just see out.
You cheated.
No, I see out.
Uh, Dude, to me that's cheating.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
No, because
You play one digit at a time, and the comments.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. But that doesn't actually change the data. And what we need to do is we need to make sure that the data is good. But it really doesn't matter because we're going to be storing it as enum anyway. But what with string token or string, you find out where that comma is. And if you're doing the string,
Oh, so we have to declare some pointers to store the address.
well, in our case for this project, okay, let's go back to homework 5 for a moment. This is homework 5. You've got the comma in here for John. And this is position 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. When you do string looking for a comma, it's going to return to you this address of 2. So you're going to take, you're going to do something like a string cat, string end cat, end cat, because you want to copy a certain number of those characters. You want to copy from 0 through 1, and then you're going to skip over that, and you're going to do from 3 to string length. That's how you remove it, or the way of editing your data so that it eliminates the comma, not just hides the comma. You hid the comma.
I don't think you'll even
No, I don't think he would have either.
No.
But in our case, we're using the colon as a separator.
Between two different char arrays.
Yeah, so it's going to break it up into two different parts. You can do it the way that Cesar said, or you can do it in the way that Brandon said. Both of them are perfectly valid.
Yeah.
You can use string token.
How can you break it into two parts? What's going to
Well, you're going to have two variables, two strings. One is going to be numerical, and one is going to be text. And it could be in either order. Actually, if you do it in Cesar's way, where you mush it all around so that it first comes up that it's always this way, then you know the first one's always going to be the number, the second one's always going to be text.
Yeah.
If you do it in Brandon's way, it'll be either, but we do this format check to see which one is which.
Yeah.
The biggest problem I have is with the number. How can you take the number, how concatenate number, right? And the mix. I don't
For the output or for
the input. Basically, how can you check for the format, for the proper format?
That's a good question.
Check for like more than 4 digits.
Digits
Okay.
or words or
Or mixing the two.
That's
Yeah,
why.
mixing is going to be caught when you do the A to I. Let's go back to
oh yeah, I see what you're talking about. Because the number is going to be noise.
for A to I. Converts an integer to a wrong one. Value is an integer. Yeah. We want to convert a string to an integer.
I was thinking about it yesterday, and I couldn't hardly for the format. I was fighting with it for about 3 or 4 hours. And I was doing many different ways, it didn't work out. How do you choose the
To
format?
town.
Okay, so basically you'll just use A to I, and it returns a null terminated string. If it cannot make the conversion, all you're going to get back is a null in your string.
So you get like a boolean, like a false.
Like a boolean? Yeah.
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 Basically, if you what does it come up with?
You can't make conversions. If the first four have a letter in there, then it's going to be a pass to the zero out. It's going to return a zero. And then so you have another one check for two, and then if it returns a good, then you know it's a 2-digit number.
Okay, if the string cannot be converted to a number, the corresponding type int A to I returns 0. The only problem with that is that if they enter 00, that'll also return 0 for 2000. So 2-digit year would evaluate the same as a 0 for not being able to convert it. So that would be potentially a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, the solution then would be do just a little more data validation on this. So here, we would say if string length is less than 2 or greater than 4 or equals 3, for example, error. And then, so that would eliminate anything that's too long. And then the other thing you can do is you can do a quick register for string length.
Actually, could you do a is digit first before you do the I2A? And then the digit if it's a...
Yeah. I was going to do that one character at a time, but yeah, that should work.
You can check,
Yeah.
check the first 4 digits if there is digits. And then you proceed.
There is digit, yeah.
And then you could use the other thing. I thought it's 4 or 2, right? And then check
Okay. No, it is like I was saying, it's one digit at a time. It's not the whole, it won't take a string. But you can take it and do a for loop and check character by character that they're all digits.
What's register?
Register keeps it, I was wondering if you guys were wondering about that. Just one thing in passing. It keeps it in the local memory rather than storing it back in the more distant memory, so it's really fast. Okay. So if you're just doing a real quick run through of something, try to put in a register.
Yeah, I remember we did this before, but I just forgot. So it's not necessary, it's just
not necessary, but it's faster.
Yeah.
When you're doing just one of those real quick little checks of something, is it digit? It makes sense to use register. Mm-hmm. If you're doing something that's more complicated or it's going to take up more memory, then don't use it. Mm-hmm. But anyway, you do your register loop check. We verified it's either a 2 or a 4 digit. It's a 2 or 4 character string.
The variable that we converted from alphanumeric.
Yeah, if this is A, we've checked that A is either 2 or 4 characters long. Then we're going to check all 2 or 4 of those characters and make sure that they're digits. Then once we're sure that they're digits, then we're going to do the A to I to convert it into an integer.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to use the for loop and validation for each of the elements to know whether it's in a range of whether the first 2 or 4 in the range of it's complicated.
No, I think this is talking about the source, right?
No, I'm talking about inputting. Okay, yeah, so this is still back to input validation. Let's go back to this.
First, I talk about
you came up with some options that are unexpected. And this is good for a real program. You're overthinking this, but since you overthought it, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Because he doesn't check it for this level of detail.
No.
Like if you put in, you know, 200 letter O 5.
Right.
I don't think he checks for that.
But
you can try. Yes, you're right. We should.
And all your whole night doing it, and that's fun.
Yeah. But here's how you do it. First thing, because it's an easy check the string length. String length, if it's either 2 or 4, that's good. If it's anything else, reject it.
Yeah.
Then, because it's either a 2 or a 4 character string, it's likely that it's going to be digital. So then we go through one character at a time, verifying that they're all digits. If they're all digits, great. Then we do an A to I because we know that it's all digits and it's the right length, so I'll see what the resulting number is, and then reject any numbers that are out of bounds.
And if you're doing digit by digit, you have to do like the first digit times 10 plus the second.
No. A to I. We have not converted it yet.
Oh, okay.
A to I will take care of all that complex stuff for us.
It does that?
Yeah.
No, it does that.
Yeah, it does. Okay. So if you put in 2005, it's going to turn that into the number 2005.
So take A to I each element. Use A to I.
No.
So the for loops are all important to stuff.
Yeah.
Is digit and then A to I at this point on that original string. Mm-hmm. Because all we're doing here is we're checking that the string meets our requirements. Is it 2 or 4 characters? Mm-hmm. Is every character in that string a digit? Mm-hmm. If so, use A to I to handle the conversion of the string. Okay. But you're guaranteed at this point that it's only going to be a 2 or 4 digit all numeric input.
Then why don't we make a counter at this point to see if there are 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers, and what if there's more numbers than more than 4? Then say that.
It's already got it right there.
It's pretty much.
Oh yeah.
That's not what I wrote. Remember I wrote that it's equal to 2 or 4 digits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could do it either way. Mm-hmm. You could also, actually that's probably a little cleaner yet, rather than that complicated thing. If not, string length equals 2 string length equals 4, and we're using not to negate that, or not equals. I guess that would work too.
Did you guys do the?
Not yet.
What? No.
The group one?
No. I said they have to create two direct menu function and a big switch, right?
Yeah, but that's the easy part.
Yeah, that's totally easy, man.
Like 5 minutes, dude. I didn't yesterday. I didn't switch. I couldn't.
What are you thinking about?
That must be the beginning part. Yeah.
If you look at the program I showed you, I did that really fast, so you could kind of look what I did.
Do you want to add all of them onto that so they can all see a copy of that file?
Yeah, I added. Oh, you mean like their emails and stuff?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I think you have shared it with me right now.
yeah. I'm
I like
sharing it. I'm
I
sharing
like
it with you.
us.
Okay.
You got emails or something?
Yeah,
Well, I don't know you guys' email. Here, can you share them? Will?
yeah.
Yeah, just go to share and share them. Share the stuff to them. And see, check out how I built the big menu. So right there where I highlighted it, that's pretty much the menu.
Okay, give me just a moment.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the share.
Posted on the forum.
Or yeah, or
That
forum.
would be probably easier.
Yeah, just copy and paste it on the form.
Yeah. Can you go to the forums and upload that
Yeah,
now?
yeah, yeah. I'll do that right now. It'll be easy.
Okay. Anyway, you are still looking rather confused.
No.
So what can we do to help you?
What I was like doing the first part.
You
Yeah,
look confused too.
yeah. So I'm still stuck in the format area. Why can't we check? I think there should be some easy way to create to validate for all the situations, all of them. Like to show the proper way and say if it's not proper way, if it's not entered proper way, then everything is false. So we should come up with something. I can't come up with it, but there should be a way how to come up with this. Because
Yes,
we have different formats.
there is. It's called regular expressions. We don't use those.
Yeah, I've used that in other languages. I use that
Yeah.
already.
I know.
Regular expressions will handle all that because you basically build the rules that it needs to work within this.
You have 4 digits or 2, and that's good.
But in this case, can we do that?
Not any way that I know. I mean, only by doing a series of for loops and string strings and other things like that, which we're doing anyway. But you're basically saying pre-validate it. I'm saying break it apart as we do it, so it's ready to go. And anywhere along the line, if it fails, then we reject the whole thing. I don't want to waste time checking stuff twice.
Yeah, so basically we have to check for the year and then make, and there can be any number of spaces in between.
Mm-hmm. That's the nice thing about string token. String token eliminates all your excess spaces.
Mm-hmm. But still don't know.
I think it's that way.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the address of the last occurrence of that token in the string. So if you search for space, it'll remove all the space to the one before.